I stood at the edge of the field, flanked by 2 uniformed police officers. We were up at the Wadebridge estate, 3 acres of fields with a main house with a large garden and a row of 5 stone cottages that stood on the edge of the village of Linwick. The place my husband, Michael, had worked for more than 20 years. A sheet of freezing rain arrowed down the back of my neck, trickling down my spine. My jeans were already soaked through, and the raindrops dripped from the tip of my nose and my earlobes. I thought longingly of home, our house being just a 15-minute walk from here. The warmth of the log burner, curtains closed against the weather, and Tansy snuggled into my side as we read the Ichabod together for the umpteenth time this week. In front of me was a different scene. My new reality. White tarpaulin sheets stretched high and wide across the middle section of the field, stark and clinical against the sludge and the moody skies. Behind the screen, I could hear the guttural roar of the yellow digger, its dull black bucket plunging into the depths, forcing the earth to reveal its grim secrets. Powerful spotlights illuminated the area of police interest and the wide circle of land around it. The smell of damp, clogged earth stuck in my nostrils and throat, and I fought the urge to gag. I turned away from the field to look at the people who were standing along the track, a public right-of-way that ran directly behind the row of cottages. They meandered in and out of their small, curious groups, standing and chatting for a minute or two before moving on. I recognized most of the faces that stared boldly back at me without acknowledgement. Locals who knew exactly what was happening here. People I used to consider friends and acquaintances who now found themselves unable to express their condolences. People we had lived peacefully alongside for years. Now, they'd braved the elements to come and watch our lives crumble as the drama unfolded. The small points of light cast from their phones dancing like sprites in the gloom. Behind me, the press. The constant flashes from the cameras were distracting, and every few seconds I'd hear my name being called with a jarring, unwanted familiarity. "Kate! Do you know what they're going to find here? Who's looking after your daughter, Kate? Where's Tansy?" My life was now an open book to these people, a free-for-all. I was no longer a human being. In their eyes, I was subject matter. I was a headline, the star of a grim and gory story everyone wanted to read. I didn't look their way. I didn't give any sign at all that I heard them calling out. I pulled up the collar of my old wax jacket and shoved my bare hands into the pockets. The fingers of my right hand closed around a soft ball, and my heart squeezed. Tansy's woolen mittens, left in my pocket from a few weeks ago, when we'd walked over here to bring her daddy his sandwiches and to forage for some yarrow for her flour press. Stomach acid bubbled up into my throat, and I closed my eyes against what was to come, what my 6-year-old daughter would have to face. "Mrs. Shaw, Daily Mail," a man's voice called out, closer than the others. He sounded friendly, sympathetic. "Did you have any clue at all about what your husband did? We can help you tell your side of the story, put an end to all the speculation. What do you say?" I didn't turn around. The rain pelted down harder, the biting wind scalding my cheeks, but I welcomed the discomfort. The sound of the digger filled my head with its relentless drone, every second bringing me closer to facing the horror that I dreaded and they all craved. Then, a splutter. The powering down of an engine, and the noise suddenly stopped.